Okay, people. April 11th, 2016. Everybody's here.
No, not
and I'm having panic attack after panic attack. I don't really want to say anything. So I don't think I'm going to say very much. Because I'm on the verge of hyperventilating here in a minute. I'm shaking. This bullshit.
Whoa, well busy.
And we'll be back. Okay, so it's that way. Right? So anyway, who wants to start?
Matter.
Well, here, you know your mother gave me an eviction notice, right?
Yeah, I do. I have a copy.
Tisha's letter of apology is on there.
Okay.
Here, see. Yeah, because there's a raccoon mother that's made a den on the porch in the ex-club / painting room / greenhouse. Mm-hmm. And they're not going to remove it. I have raccoon poo over there. I've been pointing it out to you every single time you come that I have an issue with raccoons. So something needs to be done, so I'm just bringing it to your attention. They're going to have to be removed by pest control. I don't know, she's pretty volatile right now, so I don't know. I'm just informing you that this is something that I'm going to have to discuss with the landlord. I'll be working on maybe a non-profit initiative. I'll talk to a board director that might be able to help me with something. No, that's your copy. You're effectively getting me evicted.
It's nothing to do with this.
Well, it does. It has everything to do with
Okay,
you.
let's go through this then.
Okay. You want to go first, or?
Sure, you go ahead.
Andre, let's go.
Go where?
This way.
We had a bridge. The arms break. Ah. Hey, the raccoon's over there. Okay, I'm out of here.
Raccoons where?
They're up here.
I can't! Hey, Frankie!
They're in here. In here.
Okay, Mom. That cake wasn't, it's not ready, so I turned it down.
Can I come down? No. Can you call me?
Yeah.
Thank you. I want to play with kids. And watch TV.
So, this stuff you're still using? Or what's going on with that?
I don't know what's going on in my life anymore. I got an eviction notice. I have to dispute that until I can find another place to live. My kids want to live by the SkyTrain. They don't want me to separate them. You know, I've been here for 6 years. You're asking me to work. I've been out here for almost 2.5 months every day. Cold, wind, sunshine, doesn't matter, rain, right?
But it's
So,
been going on since last May, Judy.
well, no, this is, I don't want to
I know,
argue,
I
okay?
know,
No,
I know.
let's, I just,
It's not just the winter. I mean, we've been dealing with this since last May.
it's,
Last spring.
this is a big yard. It was big responsibility. I don't have to defend myself for being responsible.
You can't go.
I tried to be responsible. I built in sound structures, and I tried to build a home for my family. Okay? I get actually a lot of compliments on my yard. You're just never here for them. What can I say? So is there anything else that you want done on a city end?
I'm good.
At
Like
this
I said,
point-
I was just asking you what you're going to do.
Well, this is to finish off this, obviously.
Okay.
But that's hard labor, and that you have to kind of put your head to it, right? But this is not staying. I mean, I don't know what you think of me. I don't want to get into the politics around it, okay? It's just a bad grape right now. Right? Come on, Andre. Wood is half gone already, and it will be gone. once the things are done, they're done. I'm tired of this too, Sook. I told you that. Right? Made a few flower pot boxes there, right? Just whatever, it's gonna be gone. Whatever happens, I do plan on cleaning up after myself to the best of my ability. Obviously, I don't want to move, right? Been here too long, put too much time into it. All right, better?
Yeah, much better.
Much better. It just took a little time to get it.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
you guys got going on with.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, guys, thanks.
Okay, and
you.
you'll make a note of that raccoon problem, right? Well, you're well aware that there's a
If you've already
raccoon.
got a file in with Wayne, then I don't need. It's already there. It's already documented. Yeah. Okay, guys. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Okay, people. I'm going to upload what happened this afternoon, or sorry, at noon, the witching hour, with the city of Surrey and their bylaw officer and my landlady's representative, her daughter. So anyway, I ended up cutting off the camera after Sook left. I guess he said to heck with it. It's done. Just you deal with it now. And in terms of that, he never even went to that side in the back there, people. Because we know it's a nightmare back there, right? Anyway, so I mean it's not no news to anybody. I'm sure he's driven there. Somebody's driven up and down. But I'm working on it, right? Like I said, I already planned on building in a shed in there. That shed should have been built last year when Uncle John should have been home. And that all that stuff in the back would have been done last year. This year, I squeezed in a little bit of money for Jerry before all this shit with the eviction notice hit the fan. So Jerry's already been paid to make the shed. So he's gonna make the shed. Because it's been paid for. Right? Anyway, I didn't continue videotaping because I didn't want to put my landlady's daughter on guard. Because everybody's already on guard, right? You know, everybody's the victim and everybody's playing offensive and defensive and, you know, they're taking pictures and, you know, Sook took pictures up on the porch there as my landlady's daughter out in the front talking about how there's stuff on the porch now. You know, it's like, oh, you have stuff in the yard. Well, yeah, you need things in order to build things, in order to cover up the weeds, the mud, and the morning glory. Then she tried to say the morning glory was mine. I said, no. More like me pulling out 50 bags for the first 4 years when I moved in. Every year, 50 bags of morning glory. And the morning glory is coming, so you're looking at another 3 more bags. But that's a whole lot better than 47 more bags. Anyway, she's saying that the eviction notice is still standing. She reminded me that it's the 11th. I'm pretty sure she was recording our conversation on her cell phone. But whatever, right? I told her I wasn't recording our conversation. Right? I mean, it wasn't pleasant because it was he said, she said. You know, you're responsible for this. No, I'm not. Yeah, you're responsible for that. No, I'm not. You're responsible for it. No, I'm not. Nobody wants to take any responsibility for anything at all. She told me that they're keeping the house, but they still want me to move. So they're going to rent it to somebody else. So whether they sell it to somebody else or they rent it to somebody else, it doesn't matter. They're still going to capitalize off of my 6 years of hard work. And I reminded her of that. And I also told her that if they want to go in that direction, that I myself feel like I have no choice but to take it to court. That's it. They pushed me into that corner. Okay? Because I asked her, if that was the case, why did you allow me to do all these things all these years? without helping me. And I asked her, why didn't you help me? If it was so bothersome all these years. Well, I have my own yard. Yes, you have your own yard, but you're also the landlord. Right? Oh, there was grass on this side. No, there wasn't. There was grass on what you see where the grass is. Where the grass is where there was grass. And even then, I'm out there with the knife every year, people, on my hands and knees with buckets, picking out the weeds, scraping off the moss. So there is actual grass. It's not really nice grass, but it's better grass than the neighbor's grass over there and the neighbor's grass over there. But outside of that, there is no other grass on the property. Because it wouldn't grow. It couldn't grow. And it still won't grow. And then we went and talked on about, I'm talking please, Andre, just give me a couple of minutes because I want to keep this short.
I'm going downstairs to...
No. No.
I can't go down. She's just watching me.
She said, okay.
Yep.
Are you sure?
Yep.
You're not fibbing now, are you?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Can I go down?
Well, no, not if you didn't get permission.
I did.
Okay.
Can I go down?
If you got permission from them.
Yes, I did.
Oh, we'll find out, people. They'll be telling him to come back upstairs and he'll be crying. The children are down there, that's why. But he's hyper, right? We're talking about the raccoons and stuff, right? It was confirmed that everybody's got problems with raccoons. But, you know, I don't know what's going to happen to those raccoons. I don't know if my landlady's going to get a pest control person to remove them. And then as my landlady daughter was getting frustrated, you know, I reminded her that it was a nursing mother. In other words, it's a very dangerous animal that's sitting up in the X Club right now. And she got frustrated and took off, right? She said she'd give me a little more than 1 month notice, but people, I've been in here for 6 years. I'm very entrenched in the house right now. And especially when the majority of my time was spent outside. Right? There are things that needed to be done that never got done on the inside because I was too busy on the outside, like sewing and that type of stuff, right? Non-profit stuff never got done, never got done, never got done. It's still not getting done. Sewing never got done, never got done, never got done, still not getting done. And I still have to do some kind of yard work, whether it's cleaning up the back there with all those miscellaneous dirty toys out there, right? Give a half away. What do I do with the other half? Here's the other thing. My kids don't want me to separate the household. They want to stay with me. So if we move, they want to move with me. They don't. We're not ready to have our family go our separate ways. We're still mourning Uncle John. We're still mourning my oldest daughter. We're still mourning the loss of my oldest son since the BC Liberal government's been elected into power and their attack on the family unit when you're below or at the poverty line. And even if you're slightly above it, it doesn't matter because you're not the epitome of what is right in our society when you're at $70, $80, $150,000 household income. Anything below 40, 45,000, and the lower you get, the worse you get treated. And now I'm at the bottom of the freaking shit pile. So I'm just going to go to the courthouse downtown, people. Number 1 on the list is Uncle John. That's number 1. Number 2 on the list, if my landlords want to take it there, well, I'll deal with it there. Because I'm not in a position to pack up and move out right now. I'm just not. I'm still required to clean up the yard. I have no money. I'm $200 and some odd behind. $283 behind on my hydro bill. I think $150 behind on my gas bill. $150 behind on the cable bill, like internet and telephone, that type of thing. I'm another $50, $60 behind on the cable, in terms of cable, which my daughter will more than likely pay, but that's besides the point. I'm behind on my Royal, which is another $60 minimum payment, which takes like $7 off the balance. And I'm supposed to pack up and go somewhere? That's like, what, $600 I'm behind in bills, just basic bills right now? It's stupid. So anyway, I didn't videotape the conversation I had with my landlady's daughter because I didn't want to antagonize the situation any more than it's already been antagonized. I'm pretty sure she was taping the conversation because she feels on the defensive, right? Like I said, everybody's on the defensive and everybody's on the offensive. There is no balance in there at all, none. And everybody's getting ready for something like checkmate kind of thing, you know, like fuck, you know, court, I guess, court. What else? What else is there? Her dad is in India. So she said that's why all that stuff is still up on the internet, because she can't take the listing down, right, until he signs it, and because he's out of the country, right? And then she mentioned about his bad heart and all this other stuff, and I said, well, what about me? What about me having a heart attack? I've been having panic attacks all freaking day to the point where I feel like I want to puke, man. And like, I'm so fucking confused. I don't know what to do other than go back outside and continue working as soon as my energy level gets a little better, because they're not going to hold it against me when the time does come. Right? I was hoping in a few more years from now so that I could actually watch the blueberry plants and those type of things that I planted in the ground grow. All those little flowers that I bought last year that turn into little trees for shade for the pond. I wanted to watch those grow. I was just starting to eat kale from my garden, making myself eat it to try and boost up my immune system, because my health is starting to fail because of all this stress and overworking. It's going to take me 2 weeks just to clean up the freaking back there with all those washing of those toys and gutting out the basement. But I'm thinking that they want to just rent this house to somebody else with a handyman that can start taking out the basement and building in that stuff where they don't have to pay anybody, just like they didn't have to pay anybody to do the yard. That's how they do it. That's how some landlords do it. Right? That's what Ron and Jean did for the first house John and I rented. Oh yeah, look at this place. We just bought, it's Jean's first house. She's a realtor. It's her first house, you know. Look how nice we fixed it up upstairs. And they rushed me through the basement. Take it now or leave it, and we took it. And what a nightmare that was after living there and having to gut out the basement for them. And once the basement was nicely gutted out and was ready to start building, they kicked us out. I had to threaten to take them to court to get back my damage deposit and all this other shit, right? And they ended up just renting it to a bunch of college students that went in there and started building. That's exactly what happened. Because we met them. So, you know, or they want more rent. They want $18.50 for this place. That's what it is, people. They want $18.50 and somebody that's going to build for them for free, basically. Or just cut off $100 here or $102 off the rent, right? So they don't have to spend $1,000 to have somebody come in and do it properly. That's what it is. And that warrants going to court, because that's not fair. I'm sorry. That's using people. That's using people, right? I told her, I said, if you didn't want me to do all this yard work, why didn't you tell me from the fucking get-go? Like, why didn't you just tell me from the get-go that you were going to sell out or do whatever you were going to do? Why string me along out there? You know? and then get mad at me because I bring home materials that you don't necessarily like until it's built. You don't like the material when it's laying around the yard, and you know it's just one person basically doing it, and it's going to take a little while to do it. But now that the water drum is in place, and the greenhouse is in place, and Mr. Lace's pen cat house is in place, and the hen house is in place, you know, and the gardens are all dug out with the bricks fucking all lined up and everything else, and the walkway is all nice, and now that that's all done, now you like it. Oh, and that's another thing. I said, well, I guess I won't be able to use you as a reference, because she kept saying that people don't like the yard. And I said, well, I don't know how that's possible, because if you ask everybody around here, they'll tell you that they like it, that they think it's nice. Oh, well, it might be somebody else. See, I didn't want to tape it though, right? I didn't want her to feel like she had to be on guard. I should have taped it, but I'm not that kind of person, people. I'm not. I'm more live and let live and do the right thing. Be responsible. You know, do your fair share. Every now and then it's okay to be kind and do something nice for somebody else, like when we did Debbie's fence, Andre and I. You know, it took a couple of hours, whoop-de-doo. But that fence is still standing up for Debbie. It saved her a few $100s. Out of the kindness of Andre's in my heart. So I asked her, I said, well, I didn't ask her. I just said, I guess we won't be able to use you as a reference. Oh, no, you can use this as a reference. I said, well, what would you say? What, if you're kicking me out, why would you give me good reference? Like, how does that make any sense? What you gonna say? If you're gonna give me good reference, then fucking keep me. Oh, well, you know, it's the fact that you brought things in the yard and it attracted the city. No, then I started talking about the crooked realtors and what's going on in the BC Legislative House of Assemblies and how there's money laundering going on with these housing market. And she didn't want to talk. I don't want to talk politics. I don't want to talk politics. Of course not. Of course not. Because somewhere through your peer group, and it's a long line of it, you know that there's some corruption going on. But she didn't want to talk about that, right? So really, what kind of reference can they possibly give me? So it's like Uncle John, just 6 years in the abyss. We've lived here, well, you go to a new house because the kids want to stay with me, right? And I don't really want to be in an apartment by myself with just Tisha and Andre. I really don't. I'm not feeling well, people. I don't know if that's a good idea. So I may have to move into another house. So I'm going to show up to another house and they're going to say, well, where have you been for the last 6 years? I'll say, in the abyss. I don't know. I just been in some black fucking hole in the universe that just kind of fell down as a dead star. I don't have references. What kind of reference am I going to get from people that evict me? Think about that one. And even Soup didn't want to take responsibility because I said, look what you've done. You've gotten me evicted. Oh, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I said, yeah, okay, sure. So we're never going to get to the truth of the matter as to why this all unfolded out the way it's unfolding. Like, seriously. Seriously. I didn't ask for 6 chickens. I didn't ask to find Mr. Lace running around at 9 o'clock at night in the freaking fog, 20 below weather. Okay? And when the city came, they came right at Delta Spring cleanup when I was bringing home the water jugs, the water drums, when I was bringing home the compost bins, the black ones that are already situated in the yard. Bringing home windows for the greenhouse. Well, it piled up in the front, and that was their excuse. But they had an agenda anyway, long before then. So anyway, I'm not dragging it out. I know that whoever I'm talking to, even like when I was, my landlady took me to the bank when it was rent time because I didn't have my car. And she drove me there. I went into the bank. I came back out. I sat down. I gave her money. Then she handed me the eviction notice. And I'm like, well, what's this? And then we sat in the car and we talked for about 15 minutes or whatever it was. And I'm like, I can't move. You know that. I'm swamped, right? Like, right? I'm sure she was recording that on her cell phone too, right? Because they're building a case. They've been trying to build a case. But how do you build a case against somebody that's worked for 6 years straight for free and has produced a viable product that covered up a problem? And they don't even allow me now to have the pleasure to enjoy it for a few years so I can get my life in order, have Andre get that foundation, and then I can move on. Move on in my time with a good attitude. Instead, I got to move on with, I've been in the abyss for the last 6 years, just like Uncle John has been in the abyss for 23 when he lived here with us before his sister came in and scooped him up and disappeared with him, right? 23 years just wiped out. Well, here's another 6 more just wiped out. Huh? 6 more years just wiped out.